Welcome to County Portal, your simple source for local government services and public records. Let's get started.
Today, we're talking about the empty chairs in Congress. Specifically, what seats are vacant in the U.S. House of Representatives and why it matters to you. The House is supposed to have 435 voting members, but that number often dips. A seat can become vacant for a few key reasons. The most common is resignation. A representative might leave to run for another office, like the Senate or governor. Sometimes they leave for a lucrative job in the private sector or to lead a university. We saw this recently when Congressman Bill Johnson of Ohio resigned to become a university president, and Brian Higgins of New York left to lead a performing arts center. Of course, sometimes resignations are forced by scandal. Another reason a seat becomes empty, sadly, is when a member passes away while in office. And then there's the very rare and dramatic case of expulsion. This is when the House itself votes to kick out one of its own members for serious misconduct. The recent expulsion of George Santos from New York is a perfect modern example of this. So, when a seat opens up, how is it filled? This is where the House and Senate are very different. The U.S. Constitution requires that all vacancies in the House of Representatives must be filled by a special election. A governor cannot just appoint a replacement to serve out the term. The governor of the state with the vacancy is responsible for officially calling the special election, and the timeline for that election can vary wildly from state to state, which is why a district can remain without representation for several months. This whole issue is especially important right now because the majority in the House is razor thin. Every single vote counts. When several seats are vacant, particularly from the majority party, it dramatically shrinks their already slim margin. It makes it incredibly difficult for the Speaker to pass legislation or even manage the day-to-day business of the House. Each special election becomes a high-stakes, nationally watched event because flipping just one or two seats can shift the entire balance of power in Washington, D.C. It affects what bills get passed and what priorities get funded, which ultimately impacts everyone. That's the rundown on vacant House seats, a constantly changing situation that directly affects how our country is governed. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this information useful and want to stay informed on how Washington works, please hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you don't miss our next video.